You are listening to the Majestic Minds Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been a very, very long time, but as usual, and to start off slow, welcome back to the Majestic Minds podcast. This is your host with the most, with a lot to blow, Morgan here, and we are back after an extremely long hiatus. I'm happy to see everyone again, happy to hear from you guys, and we got a lot to talk about, but to keep it small, we're releasing 3 brand new episodes today. Free, with just me trying to sell this shit and entertain you guys and get you guys up to speed before we have guests and bring in the more interesting stuff. But with this episode, let's start with acknowledgement. So, acknowledgement. Let's think about that for a sec. Acknowledgement. So, in terms of building yourself better, precisely, consistently, and, just like not really abruptly, but I guess you could say like maybe even well-mannered or polished, but I'm getting off track. So with the season getting hotter and people being outside more and with summer out, I thought it'd be, a good idea to just start with, self-improvement, being aware of things and just like, keeping your head strong, but also relaxing. So I want to start with, acknowledgement. So when we acknowledge, when we look to build ourselves, learn about the world or moving forward, what is the first step in doing so? Well, firstly, you would have to do a self-reflection, to figure out, to iron out whether the issues or the tasks are not being, completed and what you're missing. And, the first process upon that step is acknowledgement. What do you acknowledge that could be better? That could be, done and whatnot, or like, what you should be doing. And one of the first things in, improving yourself is when to acknowledge what could be improved upon. And this is usually the part where you have to be, a tough critic, because you gotta be honest about your flaws, your shortcomings, and what you can do better, both objectively and critically, which I understand, not too many people are really fond of. We have a tendency to think, high of ourselves or even low, where we completely neglect the things that are holding back. Could be a bad habit, an addiction, or just something. But in order to build yourself up, you would have to acknowledge, what that flaw or whatever's holding you from your chains. And there's a lot of things to acknowledge, not just within yourself, but also what is going around in the world, and how to carry yourself. So, from a personal, perspective, I acknowledge that I need to be more consistent and, just find more opportunities to perform, create new music, read a book, and just create more content. And being aware of this acknowledgement, puts myself in, a good stepping stone. But it's not really gonna matter until you're willing to do something about what you acknowledge. There's a variety of steps we're going to go through, but I want to cover acknowledgement because I feel like it's something that's not really looked upon enough, especially when improving yourself and trying to go for the better. It's like keeping record, track, or an idea of what you lack, what you miss, what you prescribe is something that's very vital to building yourself up as a person, whether it be businessman, music, or just any of the sort of occupations you wish to fulfill in. Like, as a businessman, you would have to acknowledge of the sales, the money, the employees, or even in sports, you would have to acknowledge the proper equipment, how confident you are in a certain task and which position to be at the required time when playing with a team. Acknowledgement is a very, very, very sincere part, and being able to proceed efficiently in anything of what you do. But yeah, there's a lot to acknowledge. But that's all the time I have for today or tonight, wherever you're listening to this. As I said before, we're bringing you 3 brand new episodes of our podcast. So we'll just keep it slow and save the interesting stuff for later. But see you soon.